Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this afternoon for a episode review for the new Stranger Things 4 episode 3 review that I'm doing for you guys for the third episode review that I just got done watching a little bit ago. And this is for the monster and the superhero is what it's called. And this was like an hour and 4 minutes, so it was a little shorter than the last one. So I think we're going to be getting into some pretty interesting ones after this one. So I'm going to discuss what I watched for episode 3 of Stranger Things 4 and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this review. Now, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode for sure. To be honest, this is picks up after uh, Elle hits the Angela girl or whatever, or Jane is what they're calling her. And she basically gets arrested for it and is sent to juvenile hall, of course. So a lot happens with that. And then these mysterious guys pull the juvenile hall police 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 car over or whatever that's transporting her to juvenile hall. And that's towards the end of the episode, but I'll get into more detail. As you can tell, we already saw Fred die. If you watch this episode on Netflix, episode 2, you'll see what happens to Fred. Vecna gets him. So, pretty much, this is like a living Freddy Krueger kind of Nightmare on Elm Street meets Stranger Things kind of thing. So, they're playing with some Nightmare on Elm Street themes, but it's actually interesting, to be honest. And I don't know who plays Vecna, but if it is Robert Englund, I'd be like, yes. Be like, it makes it seem so identical to Nightmare on Elm Street. This Stranger Things season 4, the enemy is Vecna, and he's like a demon or whatever, so he invades people's minds in order to. You see what happens with what he does in the third episode of Stranger Things 4. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It was really good. They're trying to figure out who Vecna is and where he came from, and they do find out where he came from and what he was tied to this Victor Credence or whatever guy, and Victor Creed, I think is his name. I said Credence by mistake. Please forgive me. I wasn't sure what his last name was, but he was like some popular serial killer in Hawkins that killed his wife and kids and all that, so it's pretty awful. But that was in that time period. It's like 1986, and they're trying to figure out what's happening to these kids getting killed and their eyes bursted and all that. Their eyes shut and bursted and all that. So it's pretty freaky how they die and all that by Vecna. But Vecna is just. I do not know how they're going to stop Vecna. It's going to be a pretty interesting season for sure. So basically, they do the guy, what's his name? Steven gets a visit from the military or whatever saying they're trying to find Elle, also known as Jane Hopper, in this episode. Millie Bobby Brown's character, of course. And they're basically trying to stop her from because they think she's the cause behind the killings in Hawkins when clearly it's not. It's somebody else, of course. But I guess they don't know that or something. But overall, I think this episode was really good. It does have a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street feels because of the Vecna character and how he invades people's minds and gives them freaky nightmares. And then he just You see how it's done when you go through the episode. He just goes, searches for people that are very vulnerable, and he makes them relive a certain memory or something, and then he just kills you after that, which is pretty fucked up, or tortures you or something. But first score for me, I'm giving episode 3 of Stranger Things 4 a 9.5 out of 10. Another really good episode. It was definitely one of my favorites for sure. It really goes into depth with the character Vecna and what he can do and all that. So he's basically part of the upside down world, so he's a demon. So yeah, they think this is going to be the last season for Stranger Things, which I don't blame them. They've been doing it so long, so the kids are all grown up, so yeah, it's kind of time to end the show for sure. But comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Stranger Things 4 episode 3 if you've seen it on Netflix, and if you enjoyed episode 3 review of Stranger Things 4, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I'll have another review for episode 4 coming out in a little bit. I know I gotta get to some track reviews pretty soon. I'm gonna try to do episode 4 next, and then I'll get to the track reviews sometime today or tonight at least before the tropical storm hits or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna be having a tropical storm hit. It's gonna be a pretty bad one, but we'll just wait and see how it turns out and if I'm still have power or whatever. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode 3 review for Stranger Things 4. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Episode 4 review is going to come out sometime soon. I got to go watch it on Netflix to see what I think of it. But basically at the end of this episode of episode 3, Jane gets a unfamiliar visit from Steven, Paul Rise's character, and he says, "Do you want to get your powers back?" kind of thing, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good." So Jane might get her powers back, or Elle might get her powers back, but much stronger this time. So she has enough power to stop Vecna. So that's gonna be. So Jane's gonna be the superhero to save Hawkins from Vecna, of course. So, yep, this does feel like a Nightmare on Elm Street meets Stranger Things 4, season 4, of course. So it's pretty cool, as long as it's executed well, the episodes, and it is for sure. But stay safe, guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed this episode 3 review for Stranger Things 4, the monster and the superhero episode title name that I just reviewed for you guys. And as always, I will see you in my next review.